time for Happy Tappe Home Tips
I'm so happy about this.
with Luke Tappe of Davis & Freeze Realtors
I'm so happy.
on 97.9 Kick FM.
That's right. It is 8:38 on this Monday, April 17th, and we bring in the real estate expert of the Tri-States, our guy Luke Tappe from Davis & Freeze. Hello, Luke.
Hello, Luke.
Good morning, you guys. How are you?
We're doing really, really well.
Good.
And one of the things you wanted to touch on today, which is something we haven't really talked about yet in all of our time with you, is, hey, you've sold the house, or hey, you're buying the house, you've got everything approved. Now it's time to put that contract together, and what an expert like you or one of your associates at Davis & Freeze can do for people.
Absolutely, you guys. There's all kinds of different contingencies and different forms that us realtors use when writing contracts, and not every realtor writes the exact same way. I mean, there's ways to write your buyer's contract to make it look more enticing to a seller. Things like how much is a buyer putting down as a down payment? Why is that important? Well, if you've got competing offers, and let's say offer A is putting down 5% and offer B is putting down 20%, their loan to value percentage, which means the amount that they're going to finance, is going to be smaller for that 20% guy. So let's say the appraisal doesn't come back at value. That buyer that's putting down 20%, they've got a little extra money to put, towards maybe anything over appraisal if they choose to do that. Different buyers are doing different inspections. Maybe this offer over here uses a completely as is addendum, but this buyer over here, they want every inspection known to mankind, which is fine, but it's to that seller, they're looking at what's going to get me to the end of the road the quickest. And so there could be like this guy over here has cash, this guy has a loan. I had one recently. It was really interesting. It was a flipper, a guy who flips homes, and he was able to do a commercial loan, so he didn't require an appraisal.
Gotcha.
So that was really important to the seller because we had priced the house right at what we thought appraisal would be. Anything over to them, well, it's kind of just a mystery at that point. And this guy was able to come in and say, you know what? I'm drawing off a commercial line of credit. I don't require an appraisal.
Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. I can close in 2 weeks.
And that's where your expertise really comes in, because it is kind of can get a little confusing whether you're buying or selling.
Yes.
And you could really explain it to your client. This is what this means, and really just break it down so they know what they're getting into and what they're buying.
Absolutely. And it just comes down to, you've got 5 offers sitting in front of you, and that seller is going to be looking at all 5 of those, and they're going to be looking at which offer can get me to the finish line the quickest, and for the most money. And it's just important because some agents, they won't even fill in that percentage of how much the buyer's putting down, or, maybe it all comes down to what the seller wants. And if you can make your offer look more attractive than the next guy, your chances are bigger.
You're in a great spot.
Exactly. Have that pre-approval letter attached. Maybe write a personal note to the seller. How much you're going to enjoy the home. And I mean, all of these things to a seller
They matter.
They matter.
Well, and what I think is so interesting, and what you're really speaking to, is a lot of those listeners out there who might say to yourself, you know what? In this market, I can sell my own home. I'll be fine, right? I can do this on my own. And my dad always said, is a realtor.
Yeah.
So one of our conversations reminded me of what my dad always said. It's like, in a lot of ways, we're like that lawyer for the trial. It's like, you're accused of murder. It's like, I'm here with your best interests at heart, and we are trying to make sure everything is gonna work for you the best it can. And so when you're out there and you're selling just without that expertise of a realtor, you could be, falling into to potholes and tripping on things that you don't know exist.
Absolutely. And it just comes down to, that person that you've got to have somebody in your court. Yeah. And, not all contracts are the same. Mm-hmm. They all have different terms, and you kind of want that translator, that person that's going to read through all of these contracts with you. When I get multiple offers, I put together a spreadsheet for my seller. Yeah. And here's offer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here's all of, this one's doing cash. This one's got a conventional. This one's got an FHA loan. Here's the prices. And I just put it all out there kind of in an aerial view for them. And it just really helps when the contracts are wrote.
Oh,
it's like the blind dating show. What's behind door number 3?
That's right.
You have a cash offer. But, Luke, for anyone out there who's listening who want the expertise of you or any of your associates over at Davis and Freeze, where can they find you?
Absolutely. 4531 Main Street here in Quincy. Find us on davisandfreeze.com. Facebook all day, every day.
Absolutely. You killed it. Luke, we will talk to you next week. Have a great week.
Thank you, guys.
Don't go anywhere. Coming on up, we have your feel-good story of the day. We're live and local. It's Mornings of Market Sam.
97.9 Kick FM.